Now before starting, I would like to tell you what all we would be looking at in this series. Okay. So what we would be looking in this series would be, let me close this. Okay, yeah. Okay. We'll be looking at HTML, we'll be looking at CSS, we'll be looking at JavaScript, and we would be looking at React.js, we'll be looking at Node.js, and we'll be looking at Express.js. Okay. So, and well, yes, we also looking at MongoDB. Okay. So yeah, this is all what we are going to be having here. Okay. Now you might be wondering what all these are, like what did I just say. Okay. So you don't have to worry much about it in the beginning. All right. We will start from the very basics, from the very scratch. We will start with HTML, then we go to CSS, then we go to JavaScript, and then we go to React.js. And as soon as you hit React, these are basically essential languages and framework to learn front-end web dev. Okay, cool. Now what does front-end exactly means? Front-end exactly means what you see on the web. Okay, I mean whatever you see on the web, that is front-end. And Node.js, Express, and MongoDB, these comprises of backend. Okay, cool. Okay, let me just complete it. Backend. Okay. Now this is what you submit a form, or uh, like if you look at Amazon, you submit a purchase, or you buy something, then how that detail is tracked. That detail is tracked using putting all these things on a server. And how do we do that? Using Node.js, Express, and MongoDB. Okay. So that is it. So now let's start with the very first lecture. It's okay. Now we would learn how web works exactly. Okay, so if I ask you what is internet, so the very basic definition is internet is network. Okay, network of networks. Okay, now what does this exactly means? It means that I have this box. Okay, I have this another box. I have this another box, and I have this another box. These boxes are exactly called servers. Okay, and these contain different what do I say? Okay, it basically contains web pages, or you can say the websites. All right, and all these are interconnected. This connected to this connected to this might be connected to this might be connected to this might be connected to this, and this might be connected to this, like this. So this whole web, this is called internet. It is basically network of networks. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. Okay, now my second question to you is, how exactly do you uh, access internet? Okay, this is a very basic question. I mean, everyone has access to internet. I mean, you are seeing this thing on YouTube, so that means you have an access to internet, and you'll be surfing on the webs and other stuff as well. Okay, so internet is basically accessed using web browsers. Okay, now you might be wondering what is a web browser, right? So I guess you might be having Chrome on your website, or Safari or Brave or anything like that. These are called web browsers. Chrome, Safari, Brave, and even Firefox, right? These are called web browsers. Okay? You basically, go to these um, and you access the internet over here, right? Like see here, I am using Google Chrome. So that is my web browser, and that is how you access the internet. Okay. Now, what is a web page? Okay, you go to Chrome, you open a website, you come across a web page. Okay. So what is a web page? Now that is my next question. Now if we talk about what a web page is, a web page is nothing but just HTML, CSS and JavaScript code which is rendered. Okay, understood? I mean, you write some code of HTML, CSS and JavaScript somewhere, not somewhere on your IDE, right? And this code is basically rendered, and that is how what I mean the rendering part is what you see on your web page. Okay, cool. Now, if you have a little basic idea, you would be knowing what these three are used for. Okay. So HTML is basically used for structuring of our website. Okay. It gives us it is like a skeleton of our web page. Okay. CSS is used for beautification of our website. Okay. To add colors, to add fonts, and to align objects. That is why CSS is used. Now we simply go to JavaScript. JavaScript is basically functionality. It provides functionality. Okay. What happens? Suppose if you click a button, what would happen? There would be some alert. Okay. And if you hover over something, like if I hover here, see something is written there, right? Pen black thickness 3. So this is all what how JavaScript. Like this is all done by JavaScript. Okay. Now see, you cannot use CSS alone. Okay. If there, I mean, it is very obvious, right? You cannot use JavaScript alone as well. I mean, that is also very obvious thing. But you can use HTML always alone, right? Cool. So HTML is a building block of a web page. Now, so in this tutorial, we would start with HTML. Again, we would go what is HTML, and we would look at some of the web pages. Then we would understand about HTML tags and the forms and everything, and in the end we would build an HTML website, okay, a simple HTML website as a project. Okay, cool. So first of all, before we dive deep into HTML code, I would want you guys to see what HTML is. So HTML basically stands for hypertext markup language. Okay. So what do you understand by this thing, hypertext markup language? I mean, these are like 4 chunks of word, and what to do with them? Okay. So we would break this thing into 2 parts, and that's how you would be able to, what do I say, understand it better. Okay, cool. So first word is hypertext, and second one is markup language. Okay, cool. So what is hypertext? Okay, we would understand what hypertext is actually, right? So let's open a web browser and look at this website. And if you don't know what this is, so this is the first website ever created. Okay. Alright, so it was just a worldwide web info and everything. You can see these things, subject, W servers, what's out there. These are like in the blue color. So these are basically hypertexts, alright. I mean, if I click on any of these, suppose I click here, I would be redirected to some other page. If I click here, I would be redirected to some other page. I click here, I would be redirected to other page. Yeah, this. Okay. So basically, interlinking. This is not opening. Let's try this one. This is not opening as well. Okay. I mean, these are very old websites, so many of it may not work. Very not wrong. Okay. Whatever. Like you understood what I'm trying to say here, right? Yeah. Let's go here. Okay. Everything is okay. So see, these are hypertext. Basically, if we click on any of them, we would be redirected to some other web page. So this is called hypertext. Okay. So I hope you understood what is a hypertext. Right. Now the other thing comes is markup language. What is a markup language? Now in the old era, what used to happen was the book printers, like this was a book, okay, and there was text written by authors, like, and there was some different symbols, okay, like there was this symbol. This used to indicate that the letters over which, or the words over which this is there, has to be in bold, okay. And suppose somewhat this, that means italics. So this was given to the publishers, tell them that words, over which this hovered has to be in bold, or words on which this was hovered needs to be in italics. So these things are called markups. Okay. The I mean some symbols or something which tell a word or tell a paragraph or tell a phrase how to look. It can look bold, it can look italics, an interline can be there on it, or it can be indented or something, or like that. Okay. So in similar way, we in HTML also we have something which mark up our words, or like we can tell this letter has to be bold, or this has to be emphasized, this has to be italics, this has to be underlined, this has to be in a different color. So all this can be done in HTML as well. That's why it is called a markup language. Okay, cool. Now you might be wondering how this markup is done in HTML. So this markup is done using tags. Okay. Don't worry if you have never heard about this term, but it is called tags. Okay. Good. So let's go to our Chrome and let's go to Java Point site and let's see what are HTML tags. So HTML tags are like keywords which define that how web browser will format and display the content. Basically, how a web browser will mark up a certain content and see how it will look. With the help of a tag, a web browser can distinguish between an HTML content and a simple content. Alright. Now, rest of the part we would see in another video, and we would be going to look at two of the main tags. One is heading tag and one is paragraph tag. Okay. Now I will give you homework. Okay. Go search more over what are tags exactly. Okay. Look deep into it and obviously search for how H or heading tag works, and how you write it in an HTML code, and similarly do the same thing for paragraph tag. Okay. Now don't worry, I would obviously be teaching it to you in the next video, but it would be better if you go and check it out beforehand, so you would be like, it would be more clear to you. Okay?
And in the previous video we learned about what everything we are going to look in this video exactly. Okay, I mean in this series exactly. And what else did we talk about? We talked about what are the different languages and frameworks we would be covering in this. And we also like talked about a little bit of HTML and what is HTML, what does it stand for, and we did the entire anatomy of the HTML. Alright. So in the end, we talked about the tags. Alright. I told you that HTML stands for hypertext markup language. So markup language we talked about, and how markup language, I mean how markup is exactly implied here through tags. Okay, cool. So in this video we are going to look at how basically tag works. Okay, so for that, go to a Chrome browser and open codepen.io again. Just write codepen.io and just go to it. Okay, cool. And you don't need to sign up or log in or anything. You just click on start coding. Okay. Okay. So I mean, this is my default layout. You can just change your layouts from here like this or like this. Okay, but I prefer to use this one. Cool. So what is this? Okay, let me tell you. So these are the code brackets. Here you write a HTML code, your CSS code, your JavaScript code, and the same thing has shown here. Okay, in this white web page. Okay, cool. So since we are going to work for HTML only, we'll just double click on it and close the CSS and JavaScript for the time being. So now what we are going to do here is let's do okay, let's go to this thing. Okay, okay, this is the one of the web pages which I found. Okay, I mean I'll share the link with you in the description. You might check it from there. It is just Adventure of Sherlock Holmes. I guess you might have read it. I mean I read it when I was a child. Okay, so it was like one of my favorite books. Okay. So Gutenberg is basically a online library. So we just went for my favorite book, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and yeah, it is the HTML version of it. Okay. So if you look at this part, okay. So okay, I mean you are looking at this part, right? So my question is, how will you know uh, replicate this thing in your browser? Okay, I mean suppose I just copied this code and I mean pasted it here. Okay, I mean see, it is a whole single line, right? Even I have like put the enters here, it doesn't matter, this thing is still in one single go. Okay, okay, we'll do this step by step. Okay, first of all, you can see that the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, this is greater than this. I mean this is the, you can say, heading, or this is the title exactly. Okay, so how would you like increase this thing? Okay, for that what you'll do, you will I'll just write it first and then I'll tell you. Okay, so this thing h1, what is this? H1 is, I mean, okay, let's go down. This, these are Anglo brackets. Okay, these tell that anything inside of them has to be treated as a tag, and whatever we write inside tells us like how, like what are the modifications we'll do. Okay, cool. Now, I mean, once we open the tag, we have to close the tag as well. Okay, otherwise it will think that the whole content from here till wherever we have has to be undertaken under H1, but that is not the case. We only want the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes to be in, a little bold. So we'll just write H1 here. I mean, you have to close it like this. Okay, cool. See? I mean, you can see it. Right. Okay, cool. Now what? Okay, I'll just do one thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty much it. Yes. Yeah. But what about if I want buy another line and Arthur Conan Doyle another line? How would I do that? Can you think of it? I mean, if it would have been a word or doc, I would just have simply clicked enter, but it's not changing here. Okay, so for that we have a tag called break, BR. Okay. Okay, you can see there is a gap between buy and Arthur Conan Doyle now. That's because of BR. Okay. Now you might be wondering what is H1, what is BR, everything. Okay. So the very first thing to become a great coder is help yourself. Okay. Now to help yourself, you must be very good at Googling. Okay. So just type headings in HTML and go to the first link. The first link which I opened was W3 Schools. Okay. So you can see HTML heading are titles or subtitles that you want to display on a web page. Okay. Example are heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So HTML tags are defined from H1 to H6. Okay. H1 defines the most important heading or the biggest heading, and H6 defines the least important heading or the smallest heading. Okay. And after H6 it doesn't matter, you can write H7, H8, it won't affect our code. So this is our code. Cool. Now it is browse automatically, add some white spaces before and after heading. So that is what happened. Okay, headings are important. Okay, you can read the rest of this later. And we can check PR tag in HTML again, and you can go to W3 Schools again, and you can see inserts single line breaks in a text, which we did here. Okay. Now to make it a little more better, let's write H2 here. Okay. I mean, it is a subtitle. This is important, but it is a subtitle. Cool. It looks cool. I mean, I can write what I can write here. H3, and I'll close H3. Okay. Okay, and one more important thing, which is there. I mean, look at this. It's looking a little bit good, better than before. Okay. Now, one more thing is you can see that BR is we have not closed BR. Why? Okay. So basically, there are two types of tag. One which are closing tag, which requires a closing tag as well, and one are open tags. They don't require a closing tag like BR. Okay. We'll talk more about what are closing tags, what are the open tags later. Okay. So now I guess that was like pretty much it for this video. I mean, you have to you know um, retain these things. Okay, just go to the web, check for first thing tags. What are tags? Like I told you in the previous video as well, but still look at once again. Then look at heading tag, look at the BR tag. Okay, try to replicate this thing which I did without looking this code thing. Okay, and what else? Yeah, and go and look for opening tag and closing tags. What are they? Okay, cool. So we have already covered two videos where we talked about the introduction of web development. We talked about how internet works and the different languages we are going to use, right? And then we talked about HTML tags and how do they work. Okay, so in this video we are going to look at anatomy of tags. Okay, so what exactly is a tag? Okay, so suppose simple I write this tag. Okay, so basically this okay, cool, this whole thing is called a tag. Okay, now these are basically the called elements. Okay, this is the content. Okay, this is the closing element, And yeah, that is it. Okay, this is the whole thing. Okay, now you might see this as so what used to happen in the older period, that suppose someone wrote a book and he wrote hello world. Okay, now he wants to make the heading bigger. So what he'll do, he'll simply put a squiggly line under it. Okay, so this squiggly line would be interpreted by a interpreter. Okay, I'll just write int, that means interpreter. Okay, and he will then understand that okay, this line means I have to use hello world as a heading, or like print it as a heading. Okay, so similar thing happens with our web page, where the interpreter is our browser. Okay, cool. So this was the anatomy of this tag. Okay, now let's talk about another tag which we used, br tag. Okay, now I would really appreciate if you remember what br tag do. Okay, so if you remember, good. If you don't, I'll tell you again, but still try to um, remember. Or I mean, these are the very basic tags. I mean, you don't have to Google every time to find the functioning of these. Okay, so okay, cool. Yeah, so br tag basically breaks or acts as a enter of a keyboard. Okay, breaks line. Cool. Now this is only element. Okay, it do not have a content, it do not have a closing element, it just only have element, and this is a tag. These tags are called self closing. Okay, the writing is very bad here, but still try to manage. Self closing tags. Okay, now you might be wondering how we uh, differentiate or know which tag is a element. I mean, which tag is a self-closing tag, or which tag is you know do need to have a closing tag. So what you do, you just simply go to dev docs.io. Okay, go to html, go to elements and search for the br tag. Okay, it's here. Now you go inside. Okay. Hmm. And here it might be somewhere. Okay, okay, where are we exactly? Okay, why is it showing button tag here? Hmm. Okay, the documentation is a little wrong. It is showing the button tag, but okay, let's see if it works. Okay, it is not working. Okay, let's just say br tag opening and close. Okay, let's just search this one. Okay. Okay, this is Stack Overflow. We won't be needing this. Let's just write self closing tag, right? Okay, again, it's not. Okay, not much is written. It should have been here, but since it is a button tag, but let me tell you, like, this is how you look at your documentation. Okay, okay, let's see if we go to heading tag. Here you can see that both starting and ending tags are mandatory. So this is how you learn it. Okay, we're going to look at one more tag called HR tag. Okay, so It must have a start tag, but must not have an end tag. Okay, HR tag do what exactly? It adds the this. What do we say this? Yeah, a horizontal line. Okay, so similarly, we'll just use HR, um, HR here, right? And then we'd use one more HR here. Okay, now you can see that we got two lines. Okay, but but let me show you one thing. Okay, this site takes few minutes. Okay, here we are. Okay, okay, can you see that R line and okay, these are the same. Okay, well, the documentation has changed of the book as well. Like it was a different before this, but never mind. Let's look at attributes. Okay, so what are attributes? Attributes are basically like, see, I have created a line here. Okay, but um, how to have this double line or different things, how to have that, we use that through attributes. Okay, like there's no shade and there is size and there's width, etc, etc. Suppose I write HR, I write size as 3. Okay, why is it not working here? Okay, okay, cool, it's working now. See, the width is different, I mean the size is different, its shade is different. So that is how you use these things. Okay, now the only thing left here is to put one more tag called center. Okay, now your task is to check what center is exactly. Okay, and okay, we should be having the same thing here as well, otherwise it would be little messy, right? Okay, yeah, cool. Now you can see it looks काफी ज़्यादा better, right? Now now your task is to check how center works. Okay, and you may comment it in the comment section here. Okay, cool. So I guess that was the whole anatomy of the tags. All right, and what else? Okay, we talked about, let's have a quick recap. We talked about tags, how, okay, let's go to the whiteboard, how a tag looks. Okay, we talked about elements, we talked about closing elements, we talked about the content, then we talk about how it is, similar to the previous era. Then we talked about self-closing tags, right, the BR tag. Then we talked about um, documentation, which is devdocs.io. Alright, and then we did some figuring of our own, and then we talk about attributes. So that's all we covered in this video. Okay, so I hope it was clear to you.
So in the last three videos, we learned about HTML and HTML tags and anatomy of HTML tags, right? So from this video, we would be looking forward to code in our own what do I say, in our own IDEs like VS Code or other IDEs which you might work on, but I work on VS Code, so I would be like showing you how to do that. Okay, cool. So in this video, we're going to look at HTML boilerplate. Okay. Now, what is a HTML boilerplate? So, HTML boilerplate is a template. Okay. Okay, it is a template and it is a necessary template. Okay, you have to add this HTML boilerplate for every for like every project you make. Okay, so let me give you an analogy, like how this thing works. Let's look at this formal data format. Okay, so here you have a like standard template like name of the sender, address, date, and salutations, name, designation. I mean salutations come here. Okay, then you write paragraph, and then in the end you like your sincerely name and signature. Okay. That is how you write a letter. Okay. Similar way, we have a standard format of HTML boilerplate which we work on. Okay. Let's open this thing, HTML. Let's okay. To add boilerplate on its own, you just have to write HTML and then click on the HTML file. So this is what we call HTML boilerplate. Now we would go to each I mean line one by one to understand what it is all about. Okay. Cool. Now first is doc type HTML. Okay. So okay, let's create a text. Doc type. So doc type it indicates what type of content or language you are working on. Okay. Okay. Cool. So you can see we have doc type of HTML. I mean this file is to be seen as an HTML document. Okay. Nothing else, just an HTML document. So I have to see. This file have to be seen. And whenever I write HTML, it is always considered the latest version of it. So latest version is currently HTML5. So that is what it. I mean, whenever compiler compiles this code, it recognizes that okay, this is a HTML5 document and I have to read it in the similar way. Okay, cool. Now, what is this HTML? Okay, okay. So you can see that we have HTML. So basically, this is the root starting of our HTML file. Like whatever HTML file we write, this is the root starting of it. Okay. All the contents inside this and the closing tag of HTML would be taken as HTML content which would be displayed on the web. Okay, cool. Now what is this language again? This tells us in what language we are basically writing, or like for which target or I mean for which audience we're targeting this. Now you might have seen that many times like there are auto voice for visually impaired people. So, to have the correct pronunciation and everything, so it should be known like which language it is reading, I mean the web. So that's why we specify the language here, okay? Cool. Now here comes the head part. The open tag, this is the ending part. Okay, so head is a tag in which we write some things, and these things are not visible to a person or to a user. Okay, it is just that head contents helps the web to render correctly. Okay, and and I guess that is the whole thing of how head works. Okay. Now we have the meta character. Okay. So basically, this is just the character setting of how we will, use the character. Okay. For this, let's do one thing. Let's go here and let's write char set UTF-8. Okay. So you can see that UTF-8 is a character encoding system. Okay. It lets you represent characters as ASCII text, long and characters and Chinese characters. Okay. Now there are other encoding systems as well. So let's search for it. Encoding HTML. Encoding rates. Okay. So okay, you can see that there are different like UTF-8, there's UTF-16, UTF-32 and many others. So that is what Castle do. Okay. And there are other metas. These are like not necessary for you to learn, so you can just skip them. Okay. I mean, if it would be like helpful in the future, I would definitely talk about them, but it is currently not required for the beginner state, so we won't talk about it. Okay. Now here is the title. Okay. I mean, what uh, title exactly is? Let me just show you. Okay. Let's just close this thing. Okay. Let's simply write google.com. Okay. Cool. Now whatever thing that comes on the tab part, I mean this thing, the logo of Google and Google written, how that is rendered? That is rendered through our title part. Okay. Okay. I mean, I hope that is uh, understood part, right? Cool. And then we close the head tab. Now comes the body part. So body is where you would be spending most of your time. Okay. This is the part where um, we write the actual HTML code. Okay. And here is like whatever you write would be rendered on the screen. So we talked about H1, so I will write H1 here. Okay, I can write hello world. Okay, then here we can have let's say my first web page. Then that sounds good. Then after doing all this, I might be wondering, okay, we did write the code, we did everything, but how to render this thing? Yeah, that is the main thing. You would click on go live. Okay. Now it could be that it won't like go live won't be able to you won't be able to see it on your screen. So you have to add the extension for it. Okay. Like here's the extensions. So go to extensions and search for live server. Okay. See, I have installed it. So you just have to there would be an install button. Just click over here and restart your VS Code. Okay, and you will be able to see the go live button. Now I'll click on the go. Okay. Okay, I guess I understood what is the problem. We have to make a folder. Okay, so let's do one thing. We'll just have a folder here called webdev. Okay, and we select the folder and we'll open it. Okay, now here we'll have html.html. we'll have HTML code. I told you about everything. We'll just have my project page. Okay, and here we would have h1. Hello world. Right. Now let's run over that thing. See it has started and we come here. You can see hello world, which was written in the body, is rendered on the screen, and you can see the title which we wrote here. Where we go? Yeah, my first web page is written over here. Cool. So I hope boilerplate thing is like you understood it fine. Okay, and again tell you how to do it. Just write HTML and click on the HTML5 and you would get the boilerplate written for you. Okay, then you may change the character set if you want, but I won't recommend that because UTF is the most common and the most used one. You can obviously change the title here and obviously you can write whatever you want to write in the body part. Okay. So in the last few videos, we learned about the basics of HTML, right? We learned about how to use tab, we learned about how to use HTML on our own ID and open it on our local browser. Alright, we also talked about HTML boilerplate. Alright, so in this video, I mean you have understood the basics yet to make your own website. Okay, so we are going to look at one hands-on project type. Okay, where we'll talk about, we'll use whatever we have learned until now, and along the way we'll also learn few concepts of HTML like um, image addition or and what else. We'll also learn about the lists. We'll also learn about links, hyperlinks. Okay, so all this and more in the coming videos. Okay, so the question of this video is, what are we going to make? So we are going to make a personal website. Okay, so let's open this. Okay, so this is John Kleinberg's personal website. Okay, so he's a university professor at Cornell University. Okay, so this is what he has written till now. Okay, cool. We won't be going into very deep, but you can add your own details and everything, but okay, we'll see how much we are going to cover here. Okay, so see, you can see that it's John Kleinberg's homepage. I'm going to write the John Kleinberg's homepage in front of it. You must write your own one. Okay, so let's start with HTML. Let's remove these, we don't need. Okay, here you can write the title. For me, I'm going to write just John Kleinberg's homepage. Okay, that is all I'm going to do here. Let's go there. Okay, you can see it is John Kleinberg. So that's John. Okay, my bad. Let's see. Okay, now it is a plain website. We have to have all these details here. So let's start with the name. You should write your own name here. Okay, so let's have, okay, everything we are going to write in the body, right? So let's have h1, we'll write John Kleinberg. Okay, same, right? Now under it, let's written Disk University. Just copy this. Alright, and we'll open a paragraph tag and write the same thing. Okay, taking professor, taking professor. Okay, if you can see, or if you can see this thing, you can find one thing that it is a little italics, right? Where are the normal ones? So, how italics? So let's write italics, HTML, Indian. Okay. Let's open this. We can see it is EM, the emphasis element. It basically marks text that has stress emphasis. Okay. The EM element can be nested with each level of nesting, indicating a great degree of emphasis. Alright. Okay, then there is I versus EM. Can italicize our text using two tags. One is I, one is EM. So let's read this and see what it is. Some developers may be confused by how multiple elements seemingly produce similar visual results. EM and I are common example. Okay. Okay. So by default, the visual result is same. However, the semantic meaning is different. EM elements basically represent stress emphasis of its content. While what I does, it simply represent text that is had to be italicized. Okay. So by semantic, we mean that it has a meaning here. Okay, the EM has a stress over something. Well, I is simply okay. I just iterate this thing. Okay. So that is all that is written here. Similarly, you can have one more tag, strong versus B. Basically, strong, what it does is, you can see, it bolds our text. Okay. So the strong element calculates that its content has strong importance. Alright. Now we got the same thing, B versus strong. Strong element is for content that is of greater importance, while the element is used to draw attention to text without indicating that it is important. So in web developer community, use the strong and EM tag more than the rest of the tags. Alright. So that is there. Okay. Let's close this. We'll go back to here. Alright. Let's close this. Let's have the EM tag here as well. Okay. Say, let's see what happened. Alright, we got the perfect one. We also italics, ours is also italics. So I'm not going to add more details here. Right, and these are these two buttons are called hyperlinks. Suppose if I click on one of them, I will head to another web page. Alright. So we'll cover this in further videos. Alright. So for the time being, we'll just copy this much part. Alright. Let's have a BR tag. Let's have a paragraph tag and save this thing. I mean, it looks quite similar, right? I mean, I can add other details as well. We'll just simply add these details. Let's have it here. Okay, we'll have BR everywhere. So it will look, a little better than before. Let's open the page. Let's see. Oh, okay, this looks the same. I mean, the hyperlinks are not there obviously, but we'll add it, okay? And you can see that there is more gap here. So what you can do is can just simply remove the class from here. Now I check. Looks quite the same to me. And okay, let's just copy this whole info from here as well. Alright. We'll just make the page at least a little bit thick. Now you can see our page till here and this page till here are looking almost same, right? Now we need one thing. Obviously we're going to ideally learn about the app buildings, obviously, but till then we'll just look at this overlook it. Now we can see that there is a line break, you know how to add it. HR Indian, it's all going to do. You can like check about the details, the attributes and everything, but since we have talked about it, I won't be covering it again. So let's just add the HR tag as well. Oh, okay, I have not saved it. Let's see. And you can see that we got a line there. Line. Okay, this. Yeah, this much part and this much part is almost same. Right. Cool. Now we look at there's you can call this a subheading. So let's have a subheading of our own. Let's call it H3. Right. What it was written here, you see books and teaching. So write books and teaching. Let's see. Okay. What we'll do has to be all of it. Obviously, just cut it and paste it out. Yeah. Oh, great. Our page is looking much better, much more identical to this page. Alright, and mind you that you have to add your own details here. Right, you have to write your own name, you have to write your own designation or whatever you do, and your college is write your degree and your department, then your college address, and then you can write a little something about here so that it is your own personalized page. Okay, then you can have other things, not books and teaching here obviously, but so we have got books and teaching, which is similar. Then you can see we have some bullet points here. So I guess this was pretty much it, which I intended to cover in this video.
So in the previous video, we learned about, we just started making our own personal website, right? So we basically, learn about putting learnings of heading tag and paragraph tag. Then we also learned about emphasize and strong tag as well, right? And we talked about the difference between the emphasize tag and um, I mean emphasize tag and italics tag, and difference between strong tag and the bold tag, right? So if I have started the running of this video, and this is what we have achieved till now of this page. Okay. Okay, this looks fine. Alright. Now we want to add these points but in bullet points, right? So how to do that? So I would highly recommend you guys to try to do this on your own using the Google search and the MDN, but I mean, you're always free to watch the video, but I would highly recommend if you do it on your own. Otherwise, you can follow me here. So what we are going to write is unordered list HTML, and we'll just write MDN, right? Okay, you can see that we got something about the UL. So what does UL stand for? UL stands for unordered list. Okay. Similarly, we have another list called OL. Okay, that is ordered list. We look at the ordered list in a while, but for the time being, we'll learn about the UL type. Okay. So you can see that there are different types. One is circle, one is disc, one is a square. Okay, then one is triangle as well, but it is not supported by all the browsers. Okay, so very simple example is this. Okay, we use tags like, the syntax of having a list is this. Okay, so what it has, we add UL in which we have to provide the list. Okay, then in the li, I mean the for every list item we enclose it in the li tag. Alright, then we have a little more complex version of this like this. You can check it on your own. Okay, then we have different things. Okay, so before proceeding, let's try to have it in our own website. So what we just learned, we learned that we have to have a UL tag. Okay, then we are going to have the list items. Now how the list item works, we already talked about. Let's just copy this. Okay, and let's just write it here. All right. Then let's open another li tag, and let's have, okay, sorry, yeah, let's copy this. All right. Okay, then what, let's have another li tag, and let's copy this part. Okay, I mind you, I'm just copying this. You have to add your own details here. Okay, it is not necessary that you have books and teachings. You can write your hobbies, etc. as well. Alright. Okay, I guess this is enough. We don't have to add other ones. So you can see, I have the bullet points here. Right. Now we saw that there are types as well. So what you can do, you can write type and you can define the type. Let's try the disk one. Let's see. Okay, the disk is the default one. Let's have circle. Now let's see. Okay, these are the hollow ones. Okay, then there's a type square as well. Let's see. Okay, so you can see that squares are here. Okay. Now what we can do is let's add HR tag here and let's save it. Let's see. Okay. HR tag should not be here. It should be outside this, right? Now let's save it. Now let's see. Looks pretty neat. Okay. Now I'm doing a little bit different from the website. Let's have one thing. Let's have h3 and let's write hobbies. Okay. You can write your hobbies here. And let's save it. Let's see how it looks now. It looks good. Alright. Now when you go down, you can check the C also part, okay, where there are other HTML elements related to the one which we're viewing. So we can view the OL one, the order list. So order list is elements represent an order list of items. All right, it's like 1 2 3 4 5 or ABC, or in the Roman numericals. All right, cool. Now what are the types here? A for lower, A for upper, I for lowercase Roman numerals, and see, you can see that default is 1, but we can have different ones as well. Okay, you can go down and you can see it is the same. It is like similar way which we did the unorder list. We just write order list, we enclose it, and we write the different types of list items here. Alright, okay, then you can check the other parts as well. I'll add the link in the description. Alright, but we'll look at some of it. Let's write li, okay, and let's write our hobbies. Okay, since I don't know about John Kleinberg's hobby, I'm going to write my own hobbies. Okay, so okay, wait a minute, we have to write the URL first. Okay, now we'll write li. What we can add in the li here? Okay, my hobbies are reading novels, right? And what else do I like? I like playing badminton, and I also like uh, brewing my own coffee. Okay, now let's see how it looks. Okay, you can see that the numbering is 1 2 3, like that. Okay, you can obviously change it with the OL type as A. You can see that it has changed to ABC. Then you can have OL type as this. Let's see, 1 2 3, that is in the Roman numericals. You can have the capital Roman numericals as well, right? And what else was there? Okay, the capital alphabetical order is also there. Cool, this looks pretty neat. Right, let's just add an HR tag here. Let's save it. Let's see. Okay, this looks pretty nice, right? Okay, that's nice. Now what else do we need to learn about here? Like, we learned about the bullet points, we learned about headings, we learned about paragraphs, we learned about the HR tag. Now what else? What else can you see in the website which we have not used here? Okay, I guess must have guessed it correctly. We haven't used these links, right? I mean, if I click on this, this would take me to some other page. So these are called links, hyperlinks, and we use we inculcate this in our website through anchor tag. All right, so I guess we'll talk about the anchor tag later in the video. Later in the next video. So for this video, I guess the list part was covered, and we covered the unordered list and the ordered list and the different types of both of them. Okay, now you may play with the lists, and you may check the other attributes of the list, and I'll post the description in the box and you can check it from there. Okay, so thank you for watching this video and see you later.
And so far we have been working on our, just give me a minute. Yeah, okay. So we are working on our personal website, right, using HTML, and let's see what we have got so far. Okay. So this is the website which we have, got so far. So according to me, it looks good. Okay, we learned about HR tag and H1 tag, the emphasis tag, the bold tag, strong tag, We'll learn about the points and other things as well. Okay, great. Now, another thing which I want you guys to know is, let's just go to the home page. Is you can see these links, I'd say. If we click on this link, we are taken to some other page. Okay, so how to have these things? Okay, so what you can do, you can click on inspect, and then you can see that there is something called a tag, and there is some href. So we'll talk about what all of these things are. Let's just say anchor tag html mdl. Let's go here, and you can see what anchor element is. Anchor element with its href attribute creates a hyperlink, okay, to web pages, file, email address, location in the same page, or anything else a URL can address. Okay. Now, within each A, we should indicate the link's destination. Okay. It is done through the href tag, and then there are attributes which you can, check on your own. Although these are not very much important, I'd say. There's one called target which we'll see later. Okay, so let's, rather than just reading, let's try and see how it works. Okay, suppose I have to specify this. So what will I do? I'll just copy this address and I'll try to put it over here. Okay, I just come here. Uh, where was it? Let's just see. It's over Department of Computer Science. Where is it? Okay, this one. So let's just remove it for now. What you'll do, you'll put the anchor tag. Okay, you'll put a href which we just copied, and here you'll have computer science. Okay, now we'll go to our website and see. Okay, there's a link which is present here as well. If I click on the link, I would be taken to this page, and if I click here, the website is a bit slow. Yeah, why is the website different? I mean, we just copied the same address. Okay, it was some loading error, but you can see that both websites are same. Okay. In a similar way, let's try put one over information science. Like present here, we'll just copy the link, and let's just have the a tag over here. Let's just close it, and let's write href, and let's just paste it. Let's save it, and this is what we come up with. Again, I mean, you got the gist of what we are doing here exactly. Okay, so that is that. Another thing which I wanted to talk was target. Okay, target is where to display the linked URL. Okay, it can be in the current browsing context, which is by default. Blank is basically a new tab. Okay, so what does that mean exactly? Let's see. Suppose I put the target as say blank. Let's save it. Let's see what we got here now. Okay, it opens in a new tab rather than if I click here, it gets open in the same tab. So that is what the difference is. Okay. Similar way, there's cell, which is the current one, current browsing context, which is the default one, which we already saw. Then these two are there, which are not, what should I say? Not very relevant. Okay, cool. Let us just close this. Now there is something which is kind of very exciting. What I'll do, I'll have one here. I'll write hobbies.html. Okay, and here what I'll do, from hobbies, this part, I'll just copy, Control C, sorry, Control X. I'll save it, and let's see what our website looks. Okay, it looks like this, right? Uh, and okay, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an h3 tag which would be saying my hobbies. Okay, now let's see how it looks. Okay, and if I put an anchor tag here, I'll say my hobbies. Okay, I'll just remove this part. Okay, and here I just paste whatever was written here. Now I can have the href as hobbies. Okay. Okay. Now if I go here, you can see there is a link. If I click over here, I would be taken to our new page, which was hobbies.html. So this is called internal linking of our web pages. I mean, you can have n number of web pages here, and if you want to interlink them, you can interlink them via this. Okay, by the internal linking which we just saw. Okay, great. So that was all, which was to be taught about anchor tag. All right. So now we have learned how to put the links here, which we can see here as well. I mean, you can put other links as well here, everywhere like where you want. But I just wanted to give you a gist of it. So that was there. Okay. So that was all for this video. Thank you for watching and see you later. Web development series, and in this video what we are going to do, we are going to learn about the image tag. Okay, so by the name you can figure it out what it is all about. It is basically inserting our images. Okay, or what can I say, embedding our images inside our page or web page, I would say. Okay, so it is that. Now we come back here and let's just go img mdn html. Okay, and we come to here. Okay, Mozilla developer org. Okay, and I go to here. It is a bit slow, my neck. Okay, but anyways, the page has opened up. So img tag is basically image embed element. It basically embeds an image into the document. Okay, then there are supported formats and other stuff which we won't be needing as such. Alright, so yeah, great, works. Now what we can do is this is index.html, right? What we want to do, let's open a folder In the desktop, let's make a folder of by the name image, and let's just select this folder. And here I'll tell you why we are doing this later, but here we'll have our index.html. Okay, and what we can do is we can first check how to use it. This is the way how you use it. Class is not necessary. There are two attributes, src and alt. Okay, first we will talk about the src attribute. I mean, it is required one and it contains the path to the image you want to embed. Now you can either embed the element, the image uh, from like your local desktop, or what you can do is you can embed the image from the URL of any website. Suppose I go to splash.com, and what I'm going to do, this is a nice image, I'll just pick it, I'll just copy um, image address. I'm going to do something like img, and alt is not, we have not looked at it yet, so I'll just delete it, and in the src I'll just paste this link. Now if I go live on my website, this is what I'm getting, looking nice, right? Then you can also set the width and the height of the image as well. Width, let's say 100 pixel, and height also as 100 pixel. Works. Now we go back, and this is what we get. Now I mind you that we don't set the width or height through our HTML. For that, I already told you, for beautifying or for styling we have CSS, right? So great, we'll just remove them and we'll get the same image back. Now suppose what I'll do, there is this image, I'll do what, I'll save this image in the, what was the folder name, image, right? So I'll just save it here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, you can see that there is this thing. What I'll do is just remove this, and here I'll try to add premium photo. Okay, this is the local photo which I am having, and this is what I get. Nice, great. Yes. So that was all about the src tag, and then there is something called alt. Okay, so alt basically is an attribute which holds the text description of the image, which isn't mandatory but is incredibly useful for accessibility. So suppose by mistake I used a different URL, a wrong URL here, then what would happen? It would not be loaded. But then I can like tell the users that okay, you cannot load the image, that is fine, but you can like get an idea of what the image is. So suppose this is a flower and a vase. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write alt, and I'm going to write flower and vase. Okay, I'll just save it. And suppose here I'll just write some gibberish and I save it. I go to obviously the image path is wrong, so it is not loading, but its alt text is present there, which tells or which gives us an idea of what it is, right? So yeah, that.
What we are going to learn is we are going to learn about tables. All right, how a table looks and everything about it. Okay, so let me just show you how a table looks. Okay, suppose this is a table. Okay, I mean data, and data. Okay, cool. So how do we exactly make a table? So let's go to HTML. Let's go to Chrome, and first let's see what we are going to, like, what we are expect to make. So like suppose you have to add a work experience like this. Okay, I mean it cannot be good like this, obviously. This is structured using CSS. So still, let's okay. Let's do one thing. Let's just write the code first. Okay, let's have h1. Okay, work experience, right? Let's save it. Let's just go live for a second. Okay, cool. Now suppose I have a paragraph or okay, let's do one thing. Let's have a list. Okay, okay, and let's slide 2002 to 2004 SG at XYZ. Okay, now let's see how it looks. We can do one thing. We can just have UL over here. Okay, yeah, okay. Suppose I just add this and give a gap. Okay, yeah, let's save it. Now let's see. Cool. Okay, sorry, my bad. Yeah, and let's write um, another tag of 2003 to 2004 and research intern at ABC. Let's go and see. Hmm. I mean, See, it's not very much aligned. You can see, right? And how to exactly do that? So that's the question here, right? So uh, let's just do one thing. Let's just remove the UL for now. Okay, let's go to tables, HTML MDN. We'll just go to the tables part. Um, Let's come down and see this. This is how simple table is made. Okay, cool. But just don't think so it is very simple like that. We can have complex tables um like this as well. Alright, cool. So now let's do one thing. Let's just go to here and let's just try and write our code, table code of our own. So just write table. Okay. Then, okay, if you go back, let's go to the simple one. You can see that there is something called TR and something called TD. So let me just tell you what TR and TD is exactly. So see, whatever is inside a column is a TD, and whatever like this single row, this is called TR. So TR stands for table row and TD stands for table data. Cool. Okay. So suppose if I write TR, that means I have made a single row. Okay, now if I have to write a TD here, I'll just write 2002 to 2004. Okay, then I'll write another TD and I'll write SG at XYZ. Let's just say, let's write SG intern at XYZ. Okay, now if I have to make another row, what I'll do, I'll just simply write TR again. Okay, I'll write TD and I'll write something 2005 to 2007, let's say, and then we'll write another TD and we'll do what? We'll just simply write research intern at ABC. Okay, now let's see. You can see that there is gap here. Okay. Mm, okay. Suppose I write Let's go to attribute. Let's see. Okay. 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 Cool. So this is what it is. I mean, it's still looking a bit, but I mean, see that these two are aligned, and that's how this looks like a table. Okay. Now one more thing which I wanted to talk about here is table is basically divided into three parts. Okay. Uh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So one is called T head, one is called T body, and one is called T foot. Okay. So I can just copy this stuff, just this whole part, and write in my body. Okay, I'll just save it. And in the head part, what I can write, instead of TD, I will write TH. Okay, I'll write ears, and in another TH, I'll write work, or let's say designation. Okay, let's save it. Let's go to our website and see that it has been bold. This part, the head part. Similarly, the thing goes for the foot part. Now, you might be wondering, why do we separate this stuff? We separate this stuff because sometimes we have to, isolate a specific part in our table. Like, suppose I have to isolate this part and customize it using CSS, which I can do later. Alright, cool. Now you might be wondering that something like this. I mean, they have borders, but why don't our code have borders, right? I mean, this is a very generic thing which might be coming to your mind. So let's just go to the attribute and let's read the attributes: align, bg color, border, etc. And you can see that there is this icon beside them. So this icon means deprecated. Okay, not for using new websites. So uh, deprecated, exactly what does it exactly mean is that it is outdated and no longer in use. Alright, I mean, see, first we had floppy disks, right? But then it got converted into pen drives now, right? No one uses floppy disks. So what does that mean? That, I mean, it still does the work, but still we don't use it anymore because we have something more efficient, something better. So we can see to achieve a similar effect, use a CSS property somewhere. Okay, and borders, CSS border, but since we have not learned CSS, we'll try to have a border here. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go to table, we'll write border, we'll write 1. Okay, let's see the website now. See, we got a border here, right? 90s look type border, which was used before, right? So yeah. So I guess that was all for the table part. So far we have learned a lot about HTML, right? We learned about the basic HTML codes, and then we made our own portfolio website, and then we learned about image tags and lists and everything, and now we have come to how to create forms, alright, in HTML. So, okay, I'll just open my Chrome. I have this pic. So, a form basically looks like this, right? Where you got a first name, a last name, date of birth. I mean, these can be anything, but you can like type your own things here and click on the submit button, and this information gets submitted, right? So this is what a form is, alright. So before jumping in, what we'll do, we'll just write forms, HTML and MDN. Okay, we'll just open this link. Uh, Form HTML element prints a document section containing interactive controls for submitting information like this. Alright. Then there are attributes and stuff. You can like read about it and get what it means exactly. Alright, and then like there are different things, then we have some examples and stuff like that. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go here and let's write form. I mean, don't need an action as such right now. We'll talk about it later. Now we have created a form. Let's go live. Let's see. Okay, it's empty. What does that mean? So, I mean, this just simply means that we got an interactive thing with this. Alright. So, you can like think it as what that this tag does is it creates something like this. Alright, that's it. There's no information in here as such. So how we get, I mean, these things and these boxes. So for that, we got our name. Sorry, we got two things. One is labels, okay, and one is input. All right. Uh, so these are texts basically written for addressing a box like this are called labels, and these boxes are called um, input boxes. All right. So you can have different type of inputs. Let's just go to input here and let's see. So there are a lot of input types. There are buttons, checkboxes, color, date, daytime, local, and whatnot. Alright, so let's just try one thing. Let's just try and make something called label. Okay. I mean, the for is not needed. Just write name here for now. Okay, and then write um, input type text. Alright, let's try and save this. Yeah, let us try and save this and let's go to our page again. You can see, okay, we got something here, right? At least it's something. Similarly, what you can have is, let's just add a PR tag here. Cool. You can have different labels. I mean, see, the text box is one important, and you can see that this button is the another important thing, right? So let's just remove the label for now. Let's just write, I mean, we don't need a label right now. Let's just write input type uh, button. Okay, let's just remove this input and we can just have button here. Let's have value as submit. Let's just save it and let's just go to a web page. Let's see. Cool. I mean, see, it's not aligned or anything, obviously, but like all the alignment I just told you, we do it using CSS, but still try to see it, it looks something. Alright, cool. Similarly, you can have other input types which you can check on your own, like there is suppose checkbox. Name ID is not required right now, we'll talk about it later. We'll have input as datetime. Another important input I want to talk about is password. Password. Let's save it. Let's go here. Yeah, we got a lot of things, but why the date time is not working? Okay, let's just go here. Okay, it's just simple date. Uh, let's go here. Let's just have date here. Okay, so let's save it. Let's go here. You can see you can choose your date from here. You can have the checkbox and see the password box. What's interesting here is see the password is encrypted. Alright, so yeah, so you can check the input of MDN and you can like have different types. You may check it on your own and see how everything works. Alright, so I guess that was all for right now about the forms. We'll in the next video we'll try and look at what do we say, we'll make a contact me form. Alright, in the previous video we learned about forms. Okay, let's just start this thing and let's see what we get here exactly. So this is kind of like I told you about the form thing, right? So this is how it generally looks. Alright, but in the previous video I told you that we are going to make a form, like make an exact like a representable form. Alright, so let's do one thing. Let's just remove all this. Okay, let's just add this thing. Alright, and now we can make a form. Okay, let's write this h3 and let's say contact me. Alright, let's add an HR tag and let's add no shade. And what is for the thickness one? Okay, I don't remember as such, but let's see what we got so far. Okay. Okay, I have written the spelling wrong here. Contact. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let's just change it to H1. Okay. Let's see. Okay, looks better. Okay, let's have the form. We have action. Alright, let's have the form. Okay, we got method and an action. Alright, let's have a label which says first name. Okay, then we'll have an input here. Yeah, type text. Let's save it. Let's see how it looks. Okay, looks a bit better. Okay, now I want you to check one thing required in HTML. Okay, let's go to this link and you can see that required attribute is a boolean attribute to represent. It specifies that an input field must be filled out before submitting the form. Okay, so suppose I have required written here. Okay, And let's have a BR tag here for now. And let's have a, okay, my bad, input type, but submit. Okay. Okay, now the submit button is here. If I try without writing anything, if I try to submit it, we got this validation that please fill out this form. Alright, cool, looks cool. Now we have another attribute which is important is placeholder. Uh, it means that sometimes the box have something written there to, tell user what to exactly fill. So let's say write your first name. Okay, let's save it. Let's see now. See that there's a placeholder when no text is written. Now I can write text here. Okay, let's write QWERTY. We get it, right? Okay, cool. Now what else we can have? Let's have another label and write last name. For now, we'll have input type text and we'll add a BR text here and let's have a placeholder. Write your last name, right? And we'll have it a required field as well. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's go see. Okay. Uh, not very great, but still, I mean, it's something, right? I mean, the styling we'll do using CSS when we'll reach there. Let's again have an input of type email. Okay. And you can have a BR tag here. Okay. Okay, we haven't added a label here. Let's just add a label. Uh, email. Okay. Okay. This works, I guess. Hmm. Okay. This looks good. Okay. And we'll have required and placeholder as write your email. Alright. Okay, looks good. And another thing of this attribute is that it would go through basic validation test of whether we have written the correct email or not. Okay, what are the basic emails? What are they like? We at the rate and dot. I mean, these two would be the basic validations of an email, right? So let's just go here. Let's write something, blah blah blah. Okay. You can see that please include an at the rate in the email address and we'll suppose we just add it. Okay. We have to enter a part following this at the rate obviously. Let's write Yahoo for now. Okay. Any other validation? No, that's it. That is all the validation. That is there, right? Okay, cool. Alright. So what else can be there? Like in your contact me form, what else can be there? Oh, another thing which can be here is let's write your message. Okay, that also works. Okay, and the input type here would be text area. Okay, so let's have text area as well. Okay, input type as other than input type, what we'll have here is simple text area like this. Okay, we don't want name, we don't want ID for now. Okay, this column tells us like how wide would be our text area, and this rows tell us how long it would be. Okay, see, it is like this. Let's just first of all let's add a BR. Let's save it. Yeah. So you can also like change the width height through this button as well, but for the initial boilerplate, it should be like this. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now we talked about that submit button functionality would come through JavaScript, but right also we can have the submit button functionality. Okay, how it would be? Let's see. In the action, what you'll write? Mail to info, and here like mail to would be like whatever mail you want to be get like. Uh, let's write my email address here first of all. Okay. So this action would do what? It would open my mail ID and the the receiver address would be this. All right, cool. Now let's go to this and let's try to submit this. Okay, all right. Okay, I'll just write my name here, Shubham Verma. Like this. Let's write something and try to submit. Okay, one thing you can see that it is not submitting even after adding this and everything. This is because we don't have email handler. So how to add email handler? We'll just go to these three dots. We'll go to settings. We'll go to privacy and security. Okay. Then we'll go to site settings. Then we go to additional permissions. Then we go to protocol handlers. You can uncheck this icon. Sites can ask to handle protocols, and you can remove this from here. Alright, that is it. Open your mail ID. This icon would come here. Just go to it and click on allow. Done. Close it. Now try to submit it. It would open my mail ID. The sender here would be this. Right. Okay. And it hasn't added the text here. I don't know why is that. Let's check if we have not added anything. Okay, we'll have the ENC type as text plain. Okay, we got our. Okay, one more thing. Okay, that is not a thing. I don't see any problem as such. Okay, let's write something. Let's add something. Let's add something. At the rate something. Enter something, and let's try to submit this. Let's see. Hopefully it should work now. Alright. It says still there is a text here. Why is this happening exactly? Let's go back to our code. Let's check if we are missing something. I I don't think so. We are missing anything like that. I guess there is some problem with the mail ID right now. Alright. So if I get the, you know, solution for it, I'd add it in the comment box, or like whatever the problem would be at this time, I would put it in the comment box. Other than that, this is the required code. Alright. So I guess we just understood how to make our basic contact form with the placeholders, with the required fields, with the email field, and with the text box. Alright, so thank you for watching this video, and see you later.